Baker Mayfield set a deadline. The Buccaneers let it pass. This isn't a trade demand. Mayfield isn't holding out of camp, and he isn't skipping a single rep. This isn't even really about one number, not at its core. What it's actually about is whether Tampa Bay is willing to lose a second franchise cornerstone in the same summer it already lost its first. Thursday, July 30th, Mayfield stood in front of reporters and said the word out loud. Disrespected. Disrespected a little bit, in his exact wording, and not presented with an offer that's appealing whatsoever. ESPN's Jenna Lane and Jeremy Fowler had that quote within the hour. Then came the line that made it sting. That's really the disappointing part, to feel undervalued after thinking you've earned it. Here's the deal on the table, and here's the deal he wanted. The Buccaneers offered 2 years with what Mayfield called low guarantees on both versions. Quick translation, since this is the word that actually matters here. In the NFL, a contract's total value is mostly fiction. Teams cut players and walk away from money all the time. Guaranteed money is the part that's real no matter what happens next. Low guarantees means the team is protecting itself, not committing to him. He wanted more than 2 years, and he wanted to land north of $50 million a season. The number 3 other quarterbacks hit this year. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy. $50 million a year is where the market actually sits right now for a quarterback who's proven he can win a division. Tampa Bay's offer, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, wasn't close. Put it in real terms. Mayfield's current deal pays him $33.3 million a year, 16th among NFL quarterbacks, with a cap hit near $40 million for Tampa Bay this season. 16th. For a quarterback who's delivered 2 division titles. That's the exact gap Mayfield is pointing at. So, ask yourself, why would a team that just watched this same quarterback deliver a division title play hardball with the guy who delivered it? NFL Network's Mike Garafolo had already reported back on July 6th that the Buccaneers aren't in a rush to do a deal. 3 weeks later, that lack of urgency is exactly what walked Mayfield to the podium. Rewind to 2023. Mayfield arrives in Tampa on what's basically a prove-it deal. A former first overall pick and Heisman Trophy winner who'd already been let go by 2 other teams. And he proves it. A division title, then another one in 2024, a career year, a 4th straight NFC South crown for the franchise. Think of the NFC South the way you'd think of a weaker conference bracket, easier to win than the AFC West with Mahomes in it. But a division title is a division title, and 4 straight is a real run. The Buccaneers reward him with 3 years and $100 million signed right after that breakout season. That deal runs through 2026. This year, the final year. Then 2025 happens. 6-2 through the first 8 weeks. 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. MVP-level football. Then the bye week hits and something changes. 7 losses in the final 9 games. 8-9 to finish. No playoffs, the first time that's happened to this team since 2019. Here's what nobody outside the building knew until a Netflix camera caught it. Mayfield played almost that entire collapse hurt. A sprained MCL and PCL in his knee, suffered in Week 2 against Houston, aggravated later against Detroit. A bicep tendon injury against the Jets. By the time Tampa hosted the Patriots after the bye, he rated his own knee pain a 7 out of 10. And he didn't miss a single start. 9 interceptions over that final stretch, and for a year, everyone just called it a decline. Now you know what it actually was. That reframes the number on the table, doesn't it? A 31-year-old quarterback with a fresh list of major injuries is not the same negotiation as a 31-year-old quarterback who just had a bad 6 weeks. According to Pro Football Rumors, that's reportedly exactly the Buccaneers' calculation. Caution built around his age and his health, not around what he's worth when he's right. But here's the part that makes Mayfield's disrespected comment land harder than a standard contract gripe. In his own words, "I'm not the first one to go through it like this. This is kind of historically how they've done negotiations. It's disappointing when you think you're a cornerstone of the franchise to be treated like that." He's not wrong. This isn't the first cornerstone Tampa Bay let walk this offseason. It's the second. Mike Evans, the franchise's all-time leading receiver, 12 years with 13,052 yards, is now a member of the San Francisco 49ers. 3 years, $60.4 million, 12 years in one uniform, and the Buccaneers let him leave in free agency the same summer. That's a pattern with a name attached, and the name is Mike Evans. Mayfield isn't the only one frustrated in that building either. The same week he spoke, defensive tackle Vita Vea, a two-time Pro Bowler, requested a trade through his agent. Vea is in the final year of a 4-year, $71 million deal due $17 million this season, and not $1 of it is guaranteed. His own extension talks had stalled too. Two disgruntled cornerstones. Same locker room, same week. Head coach Todd Bowles says there's been no talk of trading him. Vea is still showing up to camp anyway, tweaked back and all. So, how does the front office answer all of that? General manager Jason Licht went on the radio and said, quote, "I respect Baker. He's free to say whatever he wants to say. That's the way he's wired, and I have nothing but love for Baker." He kept going. "We've had some discussions, and we'll continue to have some internal discussions and try to bring this to closure one way or another, but no one wants to see Baker go anywhere, and no one's worried about how Baker's mindset is going to be. He's all about wanting to win." Head coach Todd Bowles backed that up. It's going to be business as usual for him, and that's what everybody doesn't understand. He's such a pro and such a heck of a guy that he's going to get the job done no matter what. Calm words, public unity, but calm words don't explain why the offer stayed at 2 years with low guarantees. Now, here's the part that actually complicates the whole story. Run the math yourself. CBS Sports built a real comparison model using the going market, Daniel Jones, Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, the league's 23 starting quarterbacks averaging $47.6 million a year combined, and landed on a fair 2026 number for Mayfield somewhere between $47.5 and $51.75 million. That's inside a few $1,000,000 of what he was actually asking for. Which means the real gap here was never really the top-line number at all. It was the structure. 2 years instead of more, low guarantees instead of real security. That's a far more complicated story than team refuses to pay the man what he's worth. Mayfield made sure to frame it a certain way, too. This is not a poor me thing. I think I'm a franchise quarterback. Then he closed with a line that could age either way. If you waited too long to take care of your franchise quarterback, that's too bad. It's going to get even worse. I'm going to have a great year. Both sides say the door stays open. Licht says no one wants Mayfield gone. Mayfield says he'll still play for Tampa Bay with a clear conscience either way. But the number is frozen until after the season, and nobody involved is promising it thaws in Mayfield's favor even then. Tampa Bay opens the season on the road in Cincinnati September 13th. The home opener, September 20th, is against Cleveland, the team that drafted Mayfield first overall and let him go before any of this ever started. If this season goes the way 2023 and 2024 went, the Buccaneers will be negotiating with a 32-year-old quarterback who just proved his price again, this time 1 year from an open market in 2027. If it goes the way the back half of 2025 went, they'll be negotiating with a lot less urgency, and Mayfield knows it. Either way, the number everyone's arguing about right now gets answered on a football field, not a podium. And it starts getting written the moment he steps onto one, with everything still unresolved.